Consider four subspaces of R3. U1 the set of all x, 0, 0. U2 the set of all 0, y, 0. U3 the set of all 0, 0, z. And U4 the set of all x, y, 0. Then notice that if you take U1 plus U2 plus U3, you will get R3. Why? Because if you take any point x, y, z, it can be written as the sum x, 0, 0, which is an element in U1, plus the element 0, y, 0, which is an element in U2, plus 0, 0, z, which is an element in U3. Therefore, I can write any element in R3 as a sum of elements in U1, U2 and U3. And thus U1 plus U2 plus U3 is equal to R3. Similarly, notice that U2 plus U3 plus U4 is also equal to R3. This is once again because any element x, y, z in R3 can be written as 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, z plus x, y, 0. Now the interesting thing is that in the sum U2 plus U3 plus U4, we can write the element x, y, z in another fashion. Namely, we can write this as 0, y minus x, 0 plus 0, 0, z plus x, x, 0. Now these are two ways of writing the same vector x, y, z. However, it can be verified that this is not possible in the sum u1 plus u2 plus u3. In the sum u1 plus u2 plus u3, given any element x, y, z, there is a unique way of writing it as u1 plus u2 plus u3. This distinguishes the two sums u1 plus u2 plus u3 and u2 plus u3 plus u4. Sums of this type, where we can write any element as a unique sum, is called a direct sum. Let us look at a rigorous definition now. We say V is the direct sum of its subspaces u1, u2, etc. up to un if each element of V can be written as a unique sum u1 plus u2 plus etc. up to un such that ui is an element in capital UI. And when V is the direct sum of subspaces u1 to un, then we write it in this manner. Now, as of now, to prove that V is a direct sum of its subspaces, we have to look at every element of V and see whether it can be represented in more than one way as sum of elements in UI or not. And this seems like a humongous task. In some sense, it feels impossible to test whether a vector space is a direct sum of its subspaces or not. However, we can simplify this a bit. Notice that if there is only one way of writing any element on V as a sum of elements u1, u2, etc. up to un, then in particular the additive identity of V can also be written in only one way. However, the interesting thing is that the converse is also true. That is, if the additive identity of V can be written only in one way as a sum u1, u2 plus etc. up to un, then this implies that the same is true for any element that is in V. And this is the result we are going to prove next. More precisely, V is a direct sum of subspaces u1 to un if and only if V is a sum of those subspaces, and moreover if ui belongs to capital UI and sum of ui's is equal to 0, then each ui is equal to 0. Now notice that one way of this theorem is obvious, and we had already mentioned that earlier. Namely, if V is a direct sum of subspaces u1 to un, then clearly V is a sum of those subspaces. Moreover, as V is a direct sum, every element in V can be expressed as a unique sum u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus etc. up to un. Now, one way of expressing 0 is equal to 0 plus etc. up to 0. Thus, if there is only a unique way of expressing 0 as a sum u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus etc. up to un, then that implies that each ui has to be equal to 0. And that completes the proof of one direction. Now we have to prove the other way around. That means we will assume that V is the sum of subspaces u1 to un, and if u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus etc. up to un is equal to 0, then each ui is equal to 0. From this, we want to conclude that V is a direct sum of subspaces u1, u2, u3 etc. up to un. Now notice that as V is equal to u1 plus u2 plus etc. up to un, any element V can be written as a sum u1 plus u2 plus etc. up to un, such that ui belongs to capital Un. The only question is this representation unique? In other words, does there exist w1 to wn such that V is equal to w1 plus w2 plus etc. up to wn, such that each wi belongs to ui, and there exists at least one I such that ui is not equal to wi. Let's repeat. The question is, does there exist such a collection of wi's? But notice that if w1 plus w2 plus etc. up to wn is equal to V, then u1 minus w1 plus u2 minus w2 plus etc. up to un minus wn is equal to V minus V, which is equal to 0. But this implies that ui minus wi is equal to 0 for all I by condition B. In other words, ui is equal to wi for all I. And this proves that every element in V can be written in as a unique sum. Thus, V is a direct sum of its subspaces u1, u2, u3, etc. up to un. And that completes the proof. We can further simplify this if n was equal to 2. In other words, there are only two subspaces u and w. In such a case, by previous theorem, we know that V is the direct sum of u and w if and only if V is equal to u plus w and 0 can only be represented in one way as a sum of u, an element in capital U, and w, an element in capital W. Now the second condition can be further simplified, and thus we have the theorem V is equal to u direct sum w if and only if V is equal to u sum w and u intersection w is the singleton set 0. Let us look at a proof of this fact. As we observe, to prove this, what do we have to show? We have to show that if u belongs to capital U and w belongs to capital W and u plus w is equal to 0, then this implies that u and w is equal to 0. This condition is equivalent to u intersection w is the singleton set 0. This is what we need to prove. This is what we need to prove. We have not proved it, but this is what we need to prove. As soon as we have that, then we already know from previous theorem that V is equal to u direct sum w if and only if V is equal to u plus w and this condition is satisfied. And we can replace this condition by this condition. And thus we have the theorem. So all we need to prove is this equivalence. So let us try to prove this equivalence. To show the equivalence, we need to show that this implies this and this implies this. First, we will show this direction. So let V be an element in U intersection W. The idea is that we will show this arbitrarily chosen element in U intersection W is equal to 0. Thus, we can conclude that U intersection W is the singleton set 0. And to prove that, we will assume this. Hoping that the idea is clear, let us now return to the proof. So let V be an element in U intersection W. Then notice that this implies minus V will also belong to U intersection W. Why is this the case? V belongs to U intersection W implies that V belongs to U. But U is a subspace. Therefore, minus V will also belong to U. Similarly, as V belongs to W, minus V belongs to W. Therefore, minus V belongs to U intersection W. Now, as soon as we have this, we can write 0 is equal to V plus minus V, where V belongs to U and minus V belongs to W. But this implies that V is 0 and minus V is also equal to 0. As the V that we took was an arbitrary element of U intersection W, this whole analysis proves that U intersection W is the singleton set 0. And this completes the proof of this side of the equivalence. Now let us try to prove the other side. That is, if U intersection W is the singleton set 0, then if U and W are two elements such that U is in capital U and W is in capital W, such that U plus W equal to 0, we want to show that U is equal to 0 and W is equal to 0. How do we prove that is the question. Now notice that as U plus W is equal to 0, we know that W is equal to minus U. But as W is equal to minus U and minus U belongs to capital U, this implies that W has to belong to capital U. But W belongs to W, which implies that W should belong to capital U intersection capital W. But the intersection of capital U and capital W was the singleton set 0. Thus, W has to be equal to 0. But if W is equal to 0, this also implies that U, which is equal to minus W, is also equal to 0. Thus, we have concluded that U and W are both equal to 0. And that completes the proof of the theorem.